Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Lift with your auntie Sheila. Sheila Robinson-Kiss is in the house. It's just wonderful to see you. I've been hustling. Believe me, I have been hustling. So I've put out more audios lately than videos, but quite frankly, I love the videos more. It's nice to be back face to face with you. I cannot wait to jump into this topic. And as always, my greatest inspiration is all of you. I want to dive into a letter that I received from Justine. And then I'm just, as I always do, I'm going right between the eye. Let's start out the way we always do. Let's go ahead and make our wish. Close your eyes, get your wish on. Okay, I made my wish. Let me tell you something about your prayers, hopes, wishes, dreams. Don't stop. Please don't stop, because they come true all the time, all the time. Let me get into the topic and then the letter. So what I'm going to be talking about today is 6 ways that we allow, because it's our fault. If it's your fault, if you're the blame, you can fix it. 6 ways we allow people to waste our time and how to stop. I love this letter, Justine. Dear Sheila, I watched one of your videos years ago, and a phrase you used stuck out to me. The light broke in on me by degrees. Let me clarify. That is a quote from Frederick Douglass. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I refer to it all the time. So the light broke in on me by degrees. I'm coming out of a year-long relationship fog. I dropped so many things that were important to me, focusing on this messed up relationship. My friends, work opportunities, peace of mind, time with my parents, you name it. I have my traction back, but I feel like I wasted so much time. Do you have words of comfort or clarity for me? P.S. I will never let it happen again, Justine. Okay, Justine, and everyone listening, what I'm going to say now, it may be shocking. No, I do not, Justine. I don't have any special words of comfort for you. I'm going to tell you why. This is going to be another one of my Spice Edition videos. I don't have any words of comfort for you because I'm too old for that. I'm older than I look. Thank you very much. Just, get sun, drink a lot of water, preserve your face. Listen, as time has gotten a hold of me, I fully realize what happens to a life, what happens to a person when we're really not up to speed with how things are working here. I'm so glad that you have your traction and momentum back. While I don't have words of comfort for you, what I do have for you is just a beautiful, heartfelt reality check. I agree with you. How's that for comfort? You absolutely wasted time. And by the way, when I get these letters, they're usually very long. I only read a part of the letter, and based on the rest of what you put in this letter, I try to safeguard confidentiality. Yeah, that was just an S show. It was an emotional roller coaster. I'm glad you have your traction. And what I want you to do, I will send you an email that I made. This video is posted. I want you to sit with some tea, coffee, beverage of your choice, and I want you to go into this and listen to it over and over and over again until what I'm going to share really becomes a part of you. I made a checklist for you and everyone who's listening. Again, this would be a particular video that's worth repeating over and over again. These are the 6 ways that we allow, not that no one is forcing you, that we allow people to waste our time and how to stop. You got one life to live. Far as I'm aware, this ain't a dress rehearsal. So we got to get on with it and move about and live it out and, shoot into the stars. And then after that, we got to head home. Okay, so number one, this is a really big way that we let people waste our time. Not having clearly defined goals, not having loves, things, love is something that we love to do, not having hobbies, essentially not having the foundation of a full, rich, deep, and glorious life. Because when you have that, it's very difficult for a person to come in or different energies come in and really waste your time. It's like, my time is valuable. Why am I going to give it to you when I have these defined goals, these targeted goals? I know what I want things to look like, what I'm shooting for 6 months, for 1 year, for 6 years out. I can just speak for myself. Think about what you love. What are your hobbies, your passions? What are you shooting for? I absolutely, all of you, it's sharing the messages. It's a love, it's a joy, it's a passion. Speaking around the world, it's a love, a joy, a passion. My family, my dog Gizmo, learning Spanish, learning history, visiting historical sites. These are the things, the precious time I have on the planet. That's where I want the focus. So everyone listening to this, these are little miniature courses I'm giving you. Get your pen and paper out. Get clear, put it in front of you. What are my loves? What are my hobbies? Where do I want my energy and impact felt? We don't want that wasted. And I assure you, if you hand it over, and probably the person you're handing it over to doesn't give a rip in the first place. So that, again, I can't give too much comfort, because once you lost the time, you can't get it back. But you can learn a lesson and treasure and hold that remaining time so tight and so dear. I started this last year. I wrote down in my journal that I wanted to spend the remainder of my time looking for a miracle every day. I do not close my eyes until I find a miracle each day. Today I was walking, I stopped, I was in a nature preserve. I looked up at the trees. I'm like, this is my miracle right here. Can't even believe I'm before these majestic, like 30 feet, 40 feet tall, I mean, megalodon trees. So we can, reshift and focus any way we choose. Okay, that's 1 down, 5 to go. Number 2, not setting boundaries. And by the way, everyone, I don't point any fingers, because the fingers are pointing back at me. Every item that I go over on this checklist, I've lived it out. I've lived out the error, mistake, dead end, however you want to phrase it. So get that out of your head. So setting boundaries. If you don't have a boundary set, you will not know when it's crossed. Let me say that again a little slower. If you don't have boundaries set, you will not know when the boundary is crossed. It is vital, huge way people waste time. Oh, I'm hurt, I'm offended, I'm wounded. What happened here? Boundary violations. Either you've been walked on or something happened. You have to spend so much time processing it because you weren't clear from the get-go. This is not okay. This is okay. I recommend that everyone create a safety list for your life. And a safety list is literally just you write out, at least this is how I view a safety list. And a wonderful lady by the name of Christy, that's the first time I've heard of the safety list. She laid this out and I'm like, it's an exceptional idea. That's really just a list of boundaries. What I need to be safe and feel respected in this life by myself and by other people. And so we can eat up so much time trying to process and decipher. And it's like, yeah, it feels like BS because it is. One of your personal boundaries has been crossed. So when you know what they are, it's easy. I don't really need to process this. This is some BS. I call BS. I can get myself out of this. Or, you know what, this is great. A-okay. This feels good. So and I do want to say a word. If you have a past similar to mine, there was not a lot of, let's say, warm, fuzzy instruction. I came of age in a household. It was more or less, kind of anything goes. You got to get it all figured out. So even the concept of I'm not okay with this was just really something fresh and new for me into my adult years. But I assure you that you have the right. It is your privilege. It is your right and your privilege as a human being to draw lines of protection for yourself, lines of freedom. Boundaries do a lot. It's not just about, keeping people out and away. Boundaries also serve as a tremendous source of freedom. The boundaries set in the right place, you have the ability to live a fully expressed life because you're not wasting so much time cleaning up garbage that, quite frankly, does not belong to you. Number three, lying to ourselves. Wait a minute, I want to go back. I want to reference one of my videos, and I talked about velociraptor relationships. This is also what you should know about boundaries. There are people in this world who they're very good at it. They test the boundaries, they determine where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and depending on where their, mindset is, they will exploit those weaknesses. You really have to know what you're working with so you can shore up those areas in your life, those boundaries that it may be a weak area where you need additional support from who? From yourself. It's just like that velociraptor in Jurassic Park testing the fence. The velociraptor tested the fence until the weakest area was found and then just exploited the whole territory. So that's another piece that I didn't want to leave out on boundaries. You just have too many people. If you don't have them in place, they'll bowl you right over. I won't get into that now, but Lord, have I had the experience? Yes, I have. And it just takes too much energy to recover. We're talking about preserving our time in this video. We don't have that kind of time to waste. Next, number three, lying to ourselves about the realities of what we're experiencing. I could say, and I think it's safe to say, it's difficult for loving eyes to see. So how you handle that, you keep your loving eyes, but I want you to have, logical, intellectual eyes too, and get into the habit of letting that intellectual, that very clear part, because sometimes we'll know it intellectually, but the heart, the emotions come in, it's talking you out of it. And you will lie to yourself about what this family member is really up to. You'll lie to yourself that, oh, this person really does have a busy schedule. I call BS again. We make time for who and what we want to make time for. See, that's what, internal lies will do to you. It's just an excuse factory. The less clear you are, the more excuses you will make. Oh, I didn't get the promotion because this person they were more qualified. That may be the case, but maybe it's the case something else crazy is going on. We have to be able to really see clearly so you can collect what I call the data. Because what happens there again, you spend so much time making excuses, feeling bad. And that's how, Justine, that's how you lost a year. A year, that's a lot of time to lose. That's a lot of roses you didn't get to smell. That's a lot of productivity that was missed, a lot of learning, a lot of enjoying, a lot of peace. I want you to have full access to your time. Contrary to popular thought, we do have an expiration date in these lifetimes. Next, number 4, putting up with states of imbalance. I have a number of videos about this. One of my favorites is called Giving Away the Farm. And in that video, I talk about just how you foster states of imbalance. And it's literally exhausting. This is where the time wasting comes in. It's because you're so drained. You know, Justine used the word traction. You're so drained trying to make sense of the imbalance that you lose traction. You know, if it's one thing I really want you to key into in my message today, there are, when we're talking about balance, there's generally 2 kinds of people. There's givers and there's takers. There's givers and there's takers. And if you're a giver, and most people who are attracted to the channel, it's just beautiful people are attracted to the channel. It just has that kind of vibration to it. If you're a giver, I fully suggest you align yourself with an abundance of givers too, because you're just going to be drained. Not only aligning yourself with like-minded givers, but just very much realizing, putting a boundary, going back to another one, is that putting a boundary around how much you're willing to give. The first thing that I'm going to say is not, oh, you know, leave the relationship. That sometimes that's warranted, but other times you don't have to leave. Just adjust it. Adjust how much you're giving and how much you're doing. It's as simple as that. You know, I had a family member, you know, I looked one day, I'm like, gosh, this is when just all the boo-hooing, all the tears came. I'm like, God, you know, I have fulfilled so many favors. I've been there every time. Now I asked for this one little thing, and this person just hits the back door. And I sat there and said, you know what, Sheila, you're upset with the wrong person. You're the one who's, you know, is taking up this sword, trying to rescue this person, trying to rescue the world. You haven't gotten any of that back. The writing has been on the wall. Did I X out the relationship? I didn't. You know what I did? I'm out. Like that giving, nurturing version of me, it's alive and well. It will always be. It's who I am. That energy is not available for this particular relationship because I don't get replenished. It's like a buffet. Yeah, you got the mac and cheese on there. You've got the coconut shrimp. You know, you've got your lemon squares. The buffet is full. You're taking every doggone scrap from it. It's then nothing left on the buffet. So you don't replenish it. So I'm here, buffet is fully stacked, but it's not available to everyone. So I want you to understand, you can come into the restaurant, but you can't come up to the buffet. We can sit over here and have some tea or some coffee, but you can't, there are no lemon squares for you. So we can work it like that because we don't want that exhaustion. That's another waste of time. Next, number 5, feeling sorry for people, feeling bad for people, feeling guilty. I feel so guilty. And what I'm going to share with you is, it's so clean. This piece of the advice is so clean. The next time you start to feel guilty, I want you to stop. 2 questions. That's it, just 2. Have I been decent and kind? Have I been fair? Have I been decent and kind? Have I been fair? You got to walk after that. When you can answer both of those, yes, I have. It's just a lot of kind people have trained themselves into feeling bad over the years. And what I want to tell you about feeling guilty and feeling bad, people figure out that you feel guilty and you feel bad, and they exploit that too. This work, you know, I've sat with all kinds of people. You know, it's nearly 30 years for me as a mental health provider and mental health educator. Very well versed, very familiar with the ins and outs of these relationship dynamics. And so the way that guilt contributes to you wasting your time is, you have to nurture it. You're constantly fawning, you know, what can I do to make this better? What do you mean, what can you do to make it better? You didn't make it worse. You didn't do anything. it's a habitual response. And I have other videos that deal with how you get to that point where you feel like everything is your fault. But a lot of what I talk about in these videos is self-regulation and pulling back and being able to see things clearly and regulate your emotions accordingly, not on some habitual schedule. You know, it's automatic. So those are the two questions. Have I been decent? Have I been kind? Then you got to walk. If the answer is no, then you can try to make your corrections or your reparations. But it, you know, other than that, get yourself out of that guilty stuff. Please do that for yourself, because guilt carries such a heavy vibration. Overdone with gone. I have a lot of videos on the channel that'll help you with that process. And then lastly, number 6 is fear. The fear of hurting someone's feeling, the fear of being alone. How does this lead to wasting time? That fear will keep you stuck in toxic relationships, negative circumstances. It'll keep you wasting a lot of time, biting your tongue, not saying what you need to say. I have a video, and I believe the title of that is The Psychology of How People Treat You. The way people see you, you know, we treat people the way we see them, in a nutshell. You know, the way we see people, the way we see people is the way we are with them. So when someone is treating you less than, you're scratching your head. As hard as this is for you to hear, if you hear it in an elevated way, it'll set you free. They're doing that because there's some set of permissions they've given themselves to say, I can treat him this way. I can treat her this way. I can do this to Justine. They're giving themselves that set of permission. And your job is just to, oh, hell no. You got that one wrong. You got that one wrong. You got the wrong person. That's where every building block I share here, setting your boundaries, having things you're focused on. When all of that is in line, it's easier to say, oh, hell no. Oh, stop. Oh, snap. No, you didn't. So it's that kind of energy. And Justine and everyone else, I have a lot of compassion. I get it. Please understand me. I get it. Emotions get in there. Sheila, you don't quite understand. Oh, but I do. Go back through my videos. Oh, but I do. And I stand on and I stand by every single thing that I've shared with you today. And the channel, I'm dealing with the practical to clinical, but I'm not doing you a service if I don't come in and deal with the spiritual and constant. What you get from me is a constant reminder that there is a source of aid and comfort and help and guidance available to us all. You have to ask. That comes through the hand of God. You have to ask. If you say, I feel like I'm wasting my time, I'm not quite sure how the hell to get out of it. Ask. You're going to make your way out. Tools are going to come. It's trust and believe that. But it's not just kind of, mystical clouds falling from the skies. It's tapping into that divine relationship, understanding that aid and comfort and help, that's what you asked for, just the aid and comfort. I may not have it. The hand of God does for you. I'm just giving you things straight. So listen, play the video over and over again. If you're loving what I'm doing, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. 2 new books just dropped, The Busy Lie and The Stepping Off Point. Those are 2 books that are on Amazon. Busy Lie, bringing it all down, lots of tools to unbusy ourselves, connect from within, connect with source, connect with your community. And The Stepping Off Point, if you just, the relationship isn't working, but I want to leave it in a dignified, elevated way. I'll put the links how to get a hold of both of those titles on Amazon. Again, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back real soon with some more elevation and inspiration. Thank you so much.